They say winning ain't everything. Well, we don't have them type conversations over here, man. Had that conversation with the losers. We trying to win at everything we do. Even in the loss, we don't see defeat. We see a lesson learned. Straight up. Look, I came into this world in 1978. The doc looked me in my face and knew I was something great. 45, 42 Prescott, that's where I'm from. Grew up in the slums around dope dealers and bums. As humble as I was, I adapted to my habitat. In my own lane though, far from where they crashing at. Dumb bar graduate, the game I done mastered it. Served in the Navy, look, y'all don't know the half of it. Pops passed in '01, moms passed last year. I know they up in heaven smiling down, crying mad tears, cause they son making it. No telling where I'm taking it. My city been cursed, but I feel that I'm breaking it. Coached at Wayne High in 15 in one state. Seen the fork in the road and went straight. I know what I'm worth, I'm OG King CURT. Brooklyn Nets gaming crew legend, let's work.
Hey, this is OG King CURT, and I'm your host of the OG2CENTS podcast. I want to thank each and every one of you who tune in every Sunday. We truly appreciate it. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, like, comment, and share. Also, give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. Helps us out a lot. Make sure you follow us on all streaming platforms available. Let's continue to stand up for any acts of social injustice and racism. And, this episode is brought to you by Zenni Blocks. Zenni Blocks. Make sure to armor your eyes with Zenni Blocks virtual clear blue blockers. It's important to protect your eyes from the harmful blue light from your digital screens, so you'll have less eye strain, and that makes for better sleep and performance. Check them out at zenni.com/gaming or follow them at Zenni Gaming on Twitter and Instagram. This episode is episode 32. Getting to know, off the court with Dayfri. Apologize for that. I'm a big fan of his. He probably didn't know that, but of course I coach and manage in the 2K league, but you still have players that you admire and root for from time to time. It's perfectly normal to me. As long as when we go against each other, of course I want my team to win, but very interesting player. I think often is misunderstood. He's a professional 2K player for the championship district gaming. He has over 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, 12.2K followers on Twitch, almost 20K on Twitter, over 4K on IG. He is the founder of Top Tier Leagues, amateur pro-am tournament and league platform. He was the Season 3 NBA 2K League Finals MVP and also first team All NBA 2K League as well. Without further ado, I don't like to get talking too much about my guests. So here we have Dayfri. How you doing today?
I'm all right, man. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be with you on this podcast. I know you work hard on it, and I've always admired what you do and what you do for the community. So I'm definitely happy that you reached out, and I'm happy to be on here and do this with you.
Appreciate that. Just getting right into it. I mean, a lot of people know who you are. Some people don't. Just tell your story and how you got to where you are today.
My story a little different than I guess a lot of other people's that probably played 2K and whatnot. But I originally I just played college baseball out of high school. I didn't really play video games like that. And then whenever I transferred to university, I went and got a console and try to stay out of trouble and not go to parties and whatnot. So try to keep me out of trouble. And then I just started playing 2K. I thought 2K was unique because you have the team aspect of it. You got the 5v5. You have to hold each other accountable. It's kind of like real sports in a sense where like you have to make sure everybody's on the same page, and if they're not, you're not going to be good. So like that's why I kind of fell in love with the game. And then basically I tore my ACL. I think my second year of college. I was doing rehab on my knee and just playing the game, and they announced the 2K League. And I think all my focus went from baseball to the 2K League, and here we are now. I'm a Season 3 Finals MVP. We won the championship this year. Obviously it took a little longer than I wanted to, but I wouldn't trade this journey for anything. I got drafted by my hometown team the first year, ended up getting traded. Kind of put a little chip on my shoulder, and now I'm here with you, talking to you after it's all said and done. And like I said before, I wouldn't trade this journey for none.
Good. How did you get your gamer tag?
Yeah, I've told this story a couple times. People think it's pretty funny, but I got my gamer tag. So the first time I got a console, it was on Black Friday. You know what I'm saying? It was the Friday was after Thanksgiving, I think, and everything's half off. It's a madhouse and Walmart, Target, wherever you're going. You know what I'm saying? Best Buy. And I got a PS4, and like I was sitting there after I got back trying to figure out a name, and I was just like, man, why don't I switch day, fry and day and make Dayfri? And it kind of stuck, and maybe looking back, I wish I wouldn't have done it, but I think it's kind of like who I am now, so I just embrace it. So yeah, that's how I got my name.
I think it's dope. I mean, I've seen a few times with some of the graphics. We got like the little French fry.
Yeah.
I mean, anything that you can put some flair to it, I think is cool. I mean, hell, the OG King Kurt. I mean, it was funny when I came up with it, but to have at least to have some type of logo to go with it makes it even better.
Most definitely.
How does it truly feel to be a champion, man? Like,
To be honest with you, man, honestly, I wish I could tell you how I really feel. I don't think it's actually hit me yet. I think I'm kind of still in the honeymoon phase. You know what I'm saying? Where it don't still feel real, but it's definitely nice when you come home and like my mom, she's just happy to see me. You know what I'm saying? They're ecstatic because they know I changed my life, and I think the biggest thing is knowing everybody on our teams, their life changed. You know what I'm saying? Because the money is life changing. Obviously the championship's cool, but the whole goal is for everybody to have a better life for themselves. So like, guys like Reese, he really is the man of the house. So like, seeing him, we won the chip, and like knowing that he's got that, that backing now, knowing that he can do what he wants, that makes me happy. Like guys like Brandon going home, he wants to be a basketball coach, wants to, do this and that. They have something where they can have a goal now and go do it. They have the money to kind of support it. And like I said, I don't think there's any better feeling than that, knowing that, everybody's families were affected by it in a positive way. So like that's probably the biggest thing. I think, like the biggest like takeaway I could probably take from the championship is just knowing all my guys are, doing well. So
kind of piggybacking off of that, like, kind of describe what it's like playing for the Wizards District Gaming, P. Cross and the players that you play with this season. Like, talk about that and how your relationship is with each and every person that you play with and work with during the season.
So we definitely all have different relationships with everybody. I think you can kind of attest to that with your team. You got to have different relationships with your players, and teammates have to have different relationships to make it work. Actually, in the middle of the season, we were actually kind of down bad. We were struggling. I mean, I say we were down bad. We lost the tip off, and we had high expectations for ourselves, and our team was kind of in a bad spot. Nobody wanted to say nothing to each other. Everybody was kind of walking on eggshells and whatnot. And this is why I commend some of our young guys. We had Just Awkward call a team meeting. He said, we need to talk. No Pat, no coach, nothing, just us. And we sat there and we talked probably for an hour and a half, and I think everybody kind of was being transparent with each other, how they were feeling, why they were doing this, why they were doing that, why this hasn't happened, why has this happened, stuff like that. And I think that changed our whole season. I think that saved our season, and for somebody like Justin, he's 19 years old, young cat. I mean, the guy just came in and he worked hard, and he's seen that, he's never been in a league before, and he's calling a team meeting, something I should have did, and I was being petty, and without Justin, there's no telling what would have happened, honestly. So, I commend him first and foremost. So I'll go ahead and get into my relationship with him first. Is Justin is one of those guys. He's my roommate. Um, he's one of those guys that you wish you could be like. One of those guys that's always positive. When you get around him, it's contagious. You know what I'm saying? You won't ever hear him say a negative comment. You won't ever hear him complain. You won't ever, and he's one of those guys that when you get around, you're like, man, I wish I could live life like that guy right there. You know what I'm saying? So like that guy right there, man, I love him like my own blood. He's actually coming to Texas at the end of this month. Like that's my guy. Like his family came up. I met his whole family. Like good people, man. Like that's probably my favorite player, like my favorite teammate. But then I'll keep going. So we got Jack. Everybody wants to know about JVM. The killer. You know what I'm saying? The money man, all that stuff. You know how it is. So Jack is one of those guys. He's kind of a wild horse, man. You never know what you're gonna get from Jack, but when Jack is engaged, when it's time to play ball, there ain't nobody better you want on your team, man. That kid's a natural leader. I remember our last game, game 4 and against the Warriors, he dropped 46, I think, close out the game. And it was one of those things where it was just get him a stop and give him the ball. It wasn't nothing else. It wasn't nobody else, no cuts, no raps, give him the ball, get out the way. And like, it's nice to have somebody like that on your team. I think you can attest to that too. It's just having somebody that's a killer, man. And Jack's one of those guys that, he came in, he kind of didn't know his purpose originally, kind of in life because he was kind of confused where like he wanted to go to college still, he still wanted to do that. And I think he kind of found his feeding, found his footing. And now he has a spot in this league for however long he wants it, man. I think he's one of those guys that he's just a competitor. He's one of those guys you wish to have on your team. He's super cool, super funny dude. He's just fun to be around. And like I said, Jack, that's my brother, man, right there. That kid right there is a killer. I'll always respect him just for the fact of, we're competitors, and he showed up when it needed to be, needed to be. And then let's go to Pat. Go back on to Patrick, man. I love my coach, man. Honestly, I think me and Pat have a unique relationship because Pat's a super laid back guy, right? Like he's super laid back. He kind of like he manages. He's not gonna get on nobody. Like I told Pat, man, I need somebody to get on me. You know what I'm saying? I need somebody. That's how I work well in my workplaces. So when Pat does get mad and starts yelling and whatnot, it's at me. It ain't nobody else. And that's why I like Pat so much because like I respect him for that fact of like he's not scared to get on me and put me in my place because like I said, yeah, I know I'm not perfect still when it comes to like I'll harp on things throughout the game, whatever. So that's why I can like Pat because he'll get my mind right back into it. Ron, what are you doing? Blah, 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 whatever it is, and just get me right back into it. And like I think that's like one of those guys, like one of those coaches that I've had that, he actually knows his players. Like he knows he can't yell at everybody. He knows he can't, talk to everybody. He knows he can't just talk to me. He's got to yell at me. Like, and same with like, Jack, you got to talk to Jack, you got to talk to Dini, those guys. Like, so that's why I love Pat, obviously my coach, my guy right there, we went through he's went through the 2 hell seasons with me, even one of the championship, it was still a hell season. You know what I'm saying? It was, the COVID stuff hit, and I think I commend him a lot for keeping everybody grounded and keeping everybody level headed. And then let's go to Reese, man. That's my dog right there. That's my day one. When I showed up in DC and he was already there, you know what I'm saying? We drafted him in season 2 and he came in and he went from a 6-point a game guy to a 20-point a game guy, in one season. And I seen the kid had a lot of, a lot of motivation to be something. I seen the kid had a lot of, just wanting to win. He was just a competitor, and I'm so glad that he's with us. And the thing with Reese, man, like nobody knows, was like last year, me and him used to scream and yell at each other all practice. It was bad, you know what I'm saying? But it wasn't like on some personal stuff, whatever like that. But like me and Reese knew last year, if we didn't show up, we didn't show up to hoop, we probably weren't gonna win the game. So we kind of held each other accountable in that sense where in practice, if one of us was messing around, whatever, like we got on each other. And that's why I love Reese to death, man, because like me and him kind of took, obviously the leadership role this year. And he was like the good cop and I was the bad cop, you know what I'm saying? I would scream and yell, whatever. And then Reese, was the guy, hey, it's cool, whatever. So we had a good mixture, and I think he accepted his role really fast and really well, for a guy that was taking, 18 to 20 shots a game the year before. Like now he's only taking, 7 to 10. Like I think he adjusted well, played his role well. And like I said, I would do anything for Reese, man. I think I'm gonna FaceTime him here probably after we get off here. Just talk to we have a group. We still have a group chat. Y'all group FaceTime everybody, see how they doing, whatever. But that's my boy. And then let's go to Dini, the most winningest player. I ain't gotta say too much about him.
Right.
But that guy came in, man, and he made a difference. I think you can see that when we played Jaw. Actually, he made a huge play. Chalk had his badge. He got a block and like changed the whole outcome of the series. He doesn't get that block, I'll probably end up going to win the series. And like that's the reason why he wins games. Dini might, he might mess up the whole game, but when that one play, you need that one play from him. You need that one big, game changing play. He's gonna make it. And I can't attest, I could attest to how much Dini has helped us. But the thing is with Dini is like if there's a problem on the team, he's gonna fix it. You know what I'm saying? He gonna go right to the person. He's gonna fix it. Yo, if I'm not, if I'm clashing with Reese, me and Reese are mad each other, he's gonna get Reese. Hey, what's going on? Da, da, da. And he's going to me. Hey, man, what's good? Blah blah blah. Whatever. So like, that's why Dini was so good for us. He was just like a vet. He's been there before. He knows what it took. And obviously we ended up winning the whole thing. I think he was a big piece in that. So then last but definitely not least, I'm gonna go to my man B Rich. I think he didn't he get in through your tournament. I think that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
the Nets tournament.
I was gonna say we have a nice line of relationships
Yeah.
from you guys helping us get into the playoffs
Yeah.
to drafting our player that came out of our tournament. You know, it speaks volumes of what happened throughout the season. But go ahead and continue.
But I still remember. I think I watched the video. Y'all called him or whatever. You know, told him he got the spot, and you know, Brandon was just a good old country boy, man. You know, he just loved playing basketball. He played college basketball. Just a good dude. And I remember I messaged him after he, you know, I think they ended up losing that tournament, but he got the spot because he played out of his mind. Um, I remember I texted him at the end of my Twitter. I said, "Hey, man, you keep it up. You know, you might land a spot here in DC." And like I kept my word, man. Like I told him, because I put in a good word to Pat. You know, he had a great interview with Pat and our guys, Andrew, all our guys, and he came in, man, and he pushed our guys every day. You know, I think he started at the start of the year. He was our starting power forward, and he ended up playing, I think, against the Sixers at the very end, and he made a huge difference. He had 6 steals one game. It wasn't like he was one of those guys that you couldn't play. You know, he was a competitor and he was good. I think he was started probably on 90% of 2K League teams, and you know, one of those guys that, you know, you just want on your side. He's just good vibes. You know, he's never going, you know, step on nobody's toes. He's just there. He loves to play basketball. He loves basketball. He loves 2K. And, you know, that was really me, Justin and Brandon, Reese. That was our fifth floor where we all stayed at. We basically all lived together. They were always at our apartment. We were always at their apartment. And then Denny and Jack would come down whenever because they lived on 10th floor. But like I said, it was a different dynamic this year than it ever has been in any season that I've ever played in because of the fact of we had a team, man. You know, you have a guys that all like each other. You have guys that can talk to each other off the game. So like it was one of those things, man. I was just happy, you know, that we finished it because it was a team that was special from the beginning, and we knew that we had one goal, and we knew that was gonna take a while, it was gonna take a lot, and you know I think now that we finished it, I'll always have those guys will probably all be at my wedding. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably be at all their weddings. You know what I'm saying? Those are my
Yeah.
people now, man. You know, like on some on some no nothing, man. Those are my guys. So like I'm happy that I met those guys, and I'm happy we ended up winning the chip, man.
Now in 2K, we always talk about metas. Looking back on this season, what are your thoughts on the meta of having a championship team?
Oh man. Um. So the meta, see, like, I think we were. I don't even know if we were the best at the meta in the league. I think obviously the Raptors really good. I think the Jazz were. They were good. To be honest, man, I don't even know. I mean, like I said, I think I was just really, really good down the stretch, like at center. I think Jack got better. I think because I think in the middle of the year we were not the best at the meta. You know what I'm saying? We're like the sharp meta, where like where we because at the start of the year we ran a double ball handler lineup, and then what I'm saying, we changed, and then I think progressively we got better, and then you also seen the meta of the defense where you would have the power forward drop and the lock get the corner and stuff like that. We were bad at that. We were not good at that. And then I think you know we finally figured it out right when playoffs started, and I think we couldn't have figured it out any time better. And I think we had Jack's internet went out, their floor went out during before our Kings game, an hour before the Kings game, his internet goes out because we were playing at our apartment still. So Deanie drove to the facility and Jack went to Reese's room, and I think that literally was the reason we won because Reese is like one of those guys that can keep Jack calm and collected. And he's gonna listen to Reese because Reese don't talk much. So when Reese talks, you listen, man. That's just what you do. Like so, like, I'm always talking, so nobody wants to hear me all the time, you know what I'm saying? So that's how I used to tell Reese. I said, man, you keep that kid grounded, you keep him level, we're gonna win every game. And that's what he did, man. And I think Deanie going to the facility and he was by himself, and like then with Deanie, if there's somebody there with him, he's gonna overthink everything. He's gonna be like, hey man, you think I should change my jump shot? Hey man, you think I should change this? Hey man, Deanie's his mind is nonstop go go go. So like I think us splitting up kind of helped us play better with the meta that was in place, if that makes sense. Because when Deanie was with somebody, he would be scared to drop, because Jack would be like, yo, Deanie, what are you doing? Whatever. When he was by himself, though, he was just playing off of instincts, playing off of reaction. And I think, that's what probably helped us the most. Obviously, winning the whole thing. So hindsight's 2020. But like looking back, I think if that never happens, we probably don't win the whole thing, honestly.
Yeah, we hear this word a lot. I just want to get your quick take on it. I think from talking to you, and I mean, just in my own personal experiences, that I mean, people misconstrue this word toxic because my thing is, if you have on the same uniform as me, you're the only people that I care about what you think about me. Out, looking outward, I can care less, but I only care about what's inside the team. So, what's your thoughts on the word toxic in our community?
If I had one word to describe it, I think it's overused. I think it's an internet word. I don't think you ever hear, in regular sports, you've been a part of teams and whatnot. You don't ever hear the word toxic for a teammate that's passionate, for a teammate that wants to win, for a teammate that's going to hold you to the standard you need to be held to. You know what I'm saying? And I think obviously delivery could always be better from anybody. But when you're in the heat of the game, the competition, whatever, if it's for a lot of money or if it's for a championship, whatever, man, you're not worried about their feelings, man. You're worried about, getting stuff done. Um, and I think that's the problem with our community. I think a lot of these guys have never been pushed to that limit before, never had a coach that get off in them before. Where I'm from, dude, like, Texas, especially where I'm from, football and baseball, there ain't no talking about nothing. If you mess up, you're getting yelled at and you're getting screamed at, especially during the game. It just is what it is. They don't even mean no harm by it. You know what I'm saying? They want what's best for you. They know you messed up and, move on. And I feel like in this community, it's hard, especially I get called toxic playing with my team, in the off season. You know what I'm saying? Like I've known these guys for years. I've known how to play with them. They know how I am. And I'm like, yo, Reed, what the are you doing? You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, oh, that's toxic. Like, come on, bro. Like, what I'm saying? That's my guy right there. I've known the kid for 5 years. It's like that's why I hate, like you said, the outsiders, they always, they always have the most to say. So I think this year with my team, especially the WizDG team, they accepted who I was. And the thing with me too, man, is like I know I'm not perfect, man. I know that there's gonna be some days I'm not reasonable with you. I don't want to hear you talk. I'm not the best person to be around. I'll be the first one to tell you. I will never ever deny that. But the thing with my team this year, they were all accepting me, and the thing is, they all kept me in place too. Where they would get on me if I messed up, and that's like Justin, man, especially. Me and him would get into screaming matches. I'm talking about mid-game. There's a clip of me at halftime against the Raptors. We're up 4 against the Raptors. Halftime, they put the camera on me at halftime. Me and Justin are arguing, just screaming at each other, and like people on the outside probably like, oh man, that's bad. But like that's what we needed. You know what I'm saying? Like Justin responded well to somebody getting onto him and like being like, yo, what are you doing? And that's when I'm at my bet. If you're screaming at me, oh man, I love that. Like I said, we can rock if you because like the thing with me, if you're getting upset and mad at me for messing up, I know you care. You know what I'm saying? I know that I'd much rather you scream and yell at me, whatever it is, tell me what I'm doing wrong than not say a word at all. Because like I know you care if you're talking to me. You know what I'm saying? I know you care about me. I know you care, you want to win. So like I would much rather have that than the quiet stuff. So like I feel like toxic is just overused. I feel like it's people just don't understand the real meaning of a competitor. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I really gotta say about that. I'm glad I got to kind of shut that word up out of my vocabulary now. But yeah, man, like I said, I think you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, that like I said, that word is definitely overused in our community.
I've definitely been the king of avoiding anything that's toxic and quote unquote. I think you broke it down well as a community internet term because obviously, I mean, I know I'm some generations behind, but we didn't say stuff like
I
that. I mean, it
swear
was
we.
normal. It was normal locker room behavior or normal on the court, on the field behavior because as many emotions as you express during those moments, there's only one emotion you want after the game, and that's the joy of winning. And I never cared what happened in between the lines, as long as when we stepped off, we gave it our all, and hopefully we was holding up the trophy or got the win. That was all that mattered. It's off season. You top tier leagues, founder, if I'm not mistaken, founder of the top tier leagues. That's a pro-am amateur. It's an amateur pro-am and tournament league platform. One of the best ones. I mean, I see y'all put a lot of work into it. Also, you have your own pro-am team. You kind of mentioned here and there in between, but talk about what you're doing in the off season with family-wise when you're not playing the game, and then when you're on the game, what's happening.
So the biggest thing off the game for me, I just moved into my apartment in Dallas. One of my boys I've known since I was young. We played ball together. Trying to get him on his feet. Trying to get him, get him start hustling. Start to get him, getting out there, start making some money. That's like priority number one. Priority number two, spend time with my family. Obviously, I think we take for granted our family more than anything. I think you only get so much time with your family, man, especially your parents. And so I'm definitely like after I get off here, I'm going to probably go watch some football with my dad, go get some of my mom's cooking, you know what I'm saying? Stuff that you take for granted every day, man. So that's probably a big priority for me. And then obviously I want to get back to the gym, get back to where I was in college. I let myself go a little bit because I was locked in. The quarantine stuff didn't help me by no means. So that's another big thing for me. And then, during the game or like what I'm doing on the off season for like 2K wise, the community wise, still doing TTL. Still gonna do top tier leagues. We're gonna do probably more tournaments this season or this off season. Maybe we might do some leagues. I haven't decided yet. We still trying to figure out what we want to do with the website. We're trying to get a good website. Like I said, you know how that whole runaround goes. And then for Pro Am, I'm playing with my personal brand. I finally made my own. I used to Make It Happen back in the day. Finally made my own brand. Um, called Ballistic. We got some of the best guys in the whole league. We got Radiant, we got Reezy, we got DT Lace, we got Just Awkward, we got Feast, and then my boy that's living with me, your boy Nacho. He's got to change his name because of Nacho Trainer, but we'll get there when it happens. But we got a little team. I'm trying to get everybody to lock in. I'm doing that, and then obviously I'll be streaming again, posting my YouTube videos. I think I'm gonna do a different route with YouTube videos this year. I haven't really decided yet. I think I might do like build videos or like I might like break down film or something, like break down some 2K League film, do some different type of content stuff. I haven't really decided what I want to do yet. And then I want to do one of these, man. I want to do a podcast, like just like you. I think you inspire me the most. I love what you do here. I think this is the coolest thing that you could ever do. I think podcasts are awesome. So I want to do one of these. And then also I want to do I was gonna tell you, I want to try to do an Atlanta event this year for TTL. Danny here in Dallas from the Geek Elites. I think he just changed his name to Exposure actually. Um, I'm meeting with him on Monday or tomorrow. I'm gonna see if we can get a little land event going, just to like kind of get back to what we got going. Obviously I want to chip whatever, so I want to kind of get back to our Dallas area where I started. And Danny was kind of the first guy to give me a platform to play like at a land event. So that'll be exciting. I think that's gonna be fun. We do a couple of those. And be fun for sure. And then last but not least, I think more importantly is just win, man, and just keep doing what I'm doing, keep playing pickups. Let these guys get platforms they never had before. Like I said, you know how our community is, man. So the more positivity you can spread, the better, because you know how our community could be sometimes. I love our community, but you know how they could be. So like Cal C Goofy's doing right now is giving guys a lot of opportunities to play on his stream and stuff like that. I got to get back to that. It's tough, man. When you win that chip, you want to take a little vacation, but I know people are trying to pass me up nonstop, so I got to get back into it. But most definitely, just win and get back to the community. Long story short, anyway.
Yeah, and it's good. I mean, the one thing I want to say, after what you just said is that, man, keep pushing. For me, somebody who's been around since the beginning, I've had the opportunity of watching players grow. And I know at times in the world, not only our community, but in the world, once people put a label on you or any type of stigma, they tend to want to keep it there and they don't want to let you break from it. And I'm just going to tell you, man, just keep doing what you're doing. Don't let any negativity stop you. I mean, if if you're not trying to see other people grow, that says a lot about you as a person. And that's the way I look at it. I mean, like none of us are perfect. I really to drop an OG2CENTS real quick because I was thinking the other day, is so many imperfect people wanting to see other imperfect people be perfect,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes zero sense at the end of the day. We all should just be focused on understanding each other and learning and growing together at the end of the day. A couple of things before we get to OG wants to know is NBA 2K21, your thoughts, and season 4 mindset going forward.
So 21, originally I did not like the game. I will not lie to you. And I got a little trouble from, boss man. It is what it is, but it happens. I'm not mad. But now they kind of fix the game a little bit. Like I said, obviously the game will never be perfect. We know that, but the game's not bad. Like I said, I think it's gonna be a fun, competitive pre-draft. I think we're gonna see a lot of new guys come out. Um, I think we're going to see a lot of guys get better that have been in the league that maybe been on that, brink of being a good player. I think we'll see a lot of guys either, get worse or get better. You never know. But I'm excited. I see a lot more people streaming from the league, so that's perfect for our league. Is growing. You see guys posting videos now, YouTube videos. That's what the league needs, man. I think we need guys to really push content. I think me and you both can agree. We're big on content. Both of us are. And I think you do a great job, what you're doing right here. And I think, everybody has to take a step like that. If it, even if it's not a podcast, if it's just streaming, if it's YouTube videos, all our players, coaches, even we all got to take steps, if we want this thing to grow, because it's us, man. It's on us. It ain't nobody else. It's on us. So I'm excited for this pre-draft. I see a lot of new guys getting stream setups. They be sending me pictures, calling me, asking me questions, whatever. So it makes me happy to see our community grow in that way. They're going the right way. And so that's exciting. And then for season 4 mindset, I think we want to go back to back, man. I don't think there's any other mindset you can have. Obviously, no other team has won the chip and even made it back to the playoffs. So that's going to be our first goal, is to make sure we make playoffs, make sure we give ourselves a chance to even compete for it. But obviously, I think just making sure all our guys are still playing the game. I went on streams last night. I seen Jack playing Island Gang. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy he's back out there. Deanie's got his own team. He's playing point guard. That's what he does every pre-draft. So I'm happy he's doing that. Justin just got back from Jamaica, so he's doing his stuff. He's with me now. We're doing good. Brandon's got his little team. He plays 2K Gods. That's his whole deal, whatever. And then we got Reese is the one that worries me a little bit because he likes playing park and stuff. But like I said, me and Reese always usually get a team together about 2 months left, saying get us a little team and we always rock out. But like I said, I'm excited for season 4 for anything, man. I'm really excited. I'm happy that our guys, we did it, and I want to do it again, man, honestly.
Gotcha. Now, this is a new segment that I added called OG Wants to Know, just rapid fire questions, just so people get to know a little bit more about you. Biggest influence?
My dad, my pops.
What motivates you?
My mom.
Favorite video game of all time?
Got to be NBA 2K.
Favorite sports team?
The Cowboys, you know that.
Right. Favorite athlete?
Favorite athlete, probably Eddie George.
Okay, Buckeye. Favorite actor or actress, or both?
Oh, that's a tough one. If I would go favorite actor. That's a tough one. Oh, I'm taking forever. I'll probably go Chris Rock, favorite actor. Actress. Yeah, probably Jennifer Aniston has to be.
Okay, not bad. That's a good one. Celebrity crush.
Jennifer Aniston, gotta be.
Hey, favorite movie of all time?
Hardball. No, Hardball, is it Hardball? Yes, Hardball. Yes.
Good one. Where do you want to be in the next 10 years?
I want to be in my 3rd business, sitting there in my baseball academy that I have made. I want to have 2 rec centers opened up, one in my community, one somewhere else, and I want to start getting kids basically seen for baseball. I want to get kids to the next level. That's where I want to be in 10 years.
What advice would you give to people inspiring to become a 2K professional?
Connections, man. I think you got to win, but connections matter just as much. You got to get out there. You got to play pickups. You got to get out there. So connections, and you got to win. That's my 2 biggest things.
I want to say this before we get out of here. I think you made a powerful statement. The night y'all won the championship game, you decided to wear the Black Lives Matter T-shirt, and I think, it was powerful, man. And was that something you thought about ahead of time, or was it something that you just did on the spot?
So this is gonna be kind of, I'm about to put my talent out there on blast a little bit, but I feel like, especially where I'm from, people want to put a blind eye to what's going on in our world, the social injustice that goes on. Where I'm from, there's racism always where I'm at. We had maybe 3 black people in our whole school, bro. So we didn't have, the diversity that every other school had. So I seen a lot more racism than I should have seen. And I think, you know, I had a lot of my people watching me from back home, whatever. So it was kind of more of a message to them to let them know like Black lives do matter. You know what I'm saying? Like we gotta that's the first step is seeing there's a problem. You know what I'm saying? We gotta agree there's a problem. And I told Reese before, and I talked to Reese before the game. I told him I was doing it and he was gonna do it too. I think he got caught up in the moment, you know, he just started celebrating, but I knew I was gonna do it. And you know, I think the best thing that ever happened to me was when we went to that protest in DC, you know, how powerful it was, you know, like all these people here just peacefully protesting, you know what I'm saying? Just talking, you know, letting people know like where they're coming from. And, you know, you hear these stories, man. And like I said, when they're talking about these stories, you know, like I seen some of the stuff firsthand. And, you know, I think we as a country have to all see there's problems going on. You know what I'm saying? We as a world have to see problems are going on, you know, police brutality is going on. And obviously before the, you know, finals even happened, you, Famous, you know, Big West, y'all all were on there. Who else was on there? I think it was
I don't.
Autumn was on there, yes. I love Autumn. Happy for her, by the way. Um, you know, y'all did the whole segment on, you know, social injustice, and you know, I thought it was powerful. You know, it's hard to talk about stuff like that. It's hard to, you know, start that conversation, and I think y'all killed it. And that's why, you know, y'all kind of inspired me a little bit before, and like I was already I wanted to do it, but I was kind of like, should I do it? Should I not? And then when I watched that, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And you know, like I said before, where I'm from, I know it's alive and well, racism is. So I wanted people to realize that even if you're from a small town, you know, if you're scared to speak out because you know your mom, your dad, or your uncle, your friends are racist, man, you don't gotta be scared, man. Like I said, it's what's to do right, man. It's like I've met some of my favorite people and they're black. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like I hate people that, you know, guys are like, oh, you know, this and that, blah, blah, whatever, this and that. I'm like, bro, I'm not hearing it, bro. Like Justin was my roommate this whole season and I haven't met a better person yet, man. And like to go furthermore, it's like people don't want to buy into, you know, the Black Lives Matter stuff until it hits home for them. And it's like, what if I wake up one day and Justin gets shot and killed, man? I would be devastated. And it's like I could never ever, you know, get over something like that. So like I said, I did that for a reason, and I ain't really talk about that reason until just now because like, you know, obviously your platform, I wanted, you know, share it, and I think, you know, you're somebody that I respect the hell out of, and wanted you to know where I was coming from with that. And you know, I just want people that, you know, if you are from a small town, you know, in a little country town, whatever, and you're scared to speak out, don't be scared, man. Like I said, do what's right. Like I said, and I don't understand why there's such an argument about, you know, oh, all lives matter. Blah. Like I don't want to hear that, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to hear none of that because like at the end of the day, when I get pulled over, I'm not fearing for my life. You know what I'm saying? If I got a gun, like I'm not fearing the cops gonna pull out and shoot me for pulling out my driver's license. You know what I'm saying? And and I think that's our problem with, you know, with our world. We got a lot of people that don't want to accept that fact. You know, oh, it's not that bad. Yes, it is, bro. You know what I'm saying? If they got a fear for their life, that's a problem, bro. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to argue with you. I'm not gonna debate you because it is a problem, and we have to, as a world and as a country, have to accept that fact for us to take a step forward. So that's all I really got to say about that topic. Um, like I said, it's still Black Lives Matter, man. All lives can't matter until Black Lives Matter, and I'm gonna stand on that until like I said, until everybody takes a step.
Appreciate that, man, and well put. I mean, now that's, you know, be understood for everybody to listen to understand. As we get out of here, I want you to let people know. I want you to plug it. This is your time to plug away. I'm talking top tier leagues. You know, your pro am to everything. Let them know where they can find you on social media.
I ain't gonna plug too much. You can just follow me on Twitter, just my Dave at Dayfri. I just want y'all to keep supporting my man here. Works his butt off, man. I'll keep supporting OG. I think he's great for what he's doing, great for our community. I ain't gonna plug too much, OG. Like I said, you built this platform, and I'm happy for you, and I want you to keep doing it. Like I said, you just make sure everybody keeps supporting and everybody keep doing what we're doing, and we'll be all right.
Hey, I ain't got nothing more to say. I appreciate that. And, you know, for everybody that's watching, just make sure you follow the OG2CENTS podcast on all available streaming platforms. That's Apple, Spotify, Anchor, Podbean, and now iHeartRadio. And make sure if you want to watch on our YouTube channel, just make sure you subscribe. We appreciate that. You can follow me on social media at OG King CURT. That's on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You can follow the podcast on social media as well. That's Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, the OG2CENTS podcast. You can also go to www.ogkingcurt.com for everything OG King Curt and the OG2CENTS podcast. Make sure, always give a shout out to my team, Strider Visuals, Box Graphics, Dave at the 2K Zone, and Cy Evermore. Make sure you tune in every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. You can catch me on EsportsXTRA. That's with host Larry Ridley, the crew, Renee Montgomery, Kelly Wells Brinkley, Antonio Williams, Durham Royale, and Kevin Mamuzet. We're putting the sports in esports, so make sure you check us out. That's at Compete Forever on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 7 to 8:30. Make sure you check us out. Also, make sure you catch next week's episode. And remember, if it makes sense, it's an OG2CENTS. OG out.
Put this work in, fellas. And much, much, much love to the entire 2K community for always showing me love. Without y'all, we wouldn't be here. Yeah.